What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about Bitcoin and the general markets. Before I do, as always, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel that I thought would smash it in the cycle. Had you invested $100 into each one when I released the videos and you're still holding those back, you'd be in profit for 43 grand. This used to be my portfolio. It's not anymore. If you want to see what I'm in, you can check out Copy My Crypto. We've had some good wins recently, and in terms of a lot of the Copy My Crypto members managed to get good quality airdrops very recently, which has paid off very, very well. Something that I always talk about is a bear cycle will come, so you have to be banking profits along the way. But more than that, you have to have an idea of where you're investing, whether it's a sector or a particular crypto, and track it and track how it's moving and find the right opportunities to buy the dips. And especially if you think it's one that's got long-term potential. I literally keep a spreadsheet full of cryptos that I think that 4 years down the line could be absolute monsters. And I'm watching the developments that they make over the next couple of years, the teams, who they onboard, what projects they onboard. And all I will do with that is pick out the projects that are making the most strides forward and have depreciated in price the most that could potentially do a 20, 40, 50, 100x. So if you want to learn what they are when a bear cycle inevitably hits, then you can check out Copy My Crypto. Right. Market retraced a little bit again. Bitcoin actually dipped down pretty dramatically last night. If we have a look at the charts, we can see exactly how low it went. So, this is the daily. So if we zoom in a little bit, what we can see is it actually touched the 200-day moving average constantly. And then we had a pretty low close. It's rallied decently so far this morning, not tons. That 200-day is really acting as a line of support right now. We'll see if that continues. There's one thing I want to talk about in particular. You know, with regards to crypto, you will hear the phrase adoption thrown around tons. Now, with Bitcoin's effectively perceived as a store of value, right? So it's not necessarily adoption so much as simply buying power, and a buying catalyst. And we're not seeing that for Bitcoin at the moment. Because when we actually look at it, the fear and greed index is at its lowest it's been in a very, very long time. But there's not any negative news. Not with regards to crypto. There's no major news story. You know, we're not in the situation we were sort of 7 months ago where China banned all mining and it was the catalyst for a huge market retracement. We're not there. There's nothing out that's suggesting it. So what we're looking at is what's going on really. Now, we know exactly what's going on with regards to Bitcoin. We're seeing tons of buying, and we have really recently as well, in terms of the number of Bitcoin addresses that are starting to increase in terms of the actual balance of Bitcoin that they hold. You know, really in October there was like 83 addresses that had over 10,000 Bitcoin. Now we're in December and there's over 90. Right, that's quite a dramatic increase. Okay, that's not small. That's nearly 10% increase. Again, now as we get to smaller values, we start seeing that there's a flat line. Now, most of the buying, obviously, for Bitcoin addresses with over 1,000 occurred across 2018, 2019. Well, not across 2018, sorry, across 2019 and 2020. And we saw the spike this year, and then that, to be fair, has retraced since. With addresses over 100, we've generally seen a decline, actually. we've seen a decline over the past few years. Addresses over 10, again, since 2020, flatlined, really. Flatlined. Not increased. Addresses over 1. Addresses over 1 has had a continual increase, to be fair, across 2019, 2020. Since we've been in 2021, pretty flat. In fact, it's reduced a little bit. And then 0.1, a little more than 0.1. We see a huge spike from 2018, 2019, 2020. And if you look this year, not dramatic increases. Not dramatic at all. You know, nowhere close to 10%. And why is that relevant? Well, fundamentally, with Bitcoin in particular, you want to see an influx of buying. And we're not necessarily seeing news that would precipitate a run on buying. We've seen the Glassnode data. We can see that there is, in the past few days, there's been huge outflows of Bitcoin from exchanges. So whales are continuously buying. We've seen, I mean, you can check the Bitcoin wallets as well, the top few wallets, and you can see that they're buying consistently throughout these dips. And they're removing them from exchanges, which usually precipitates a run in price. But until we see an influx of buying or a news story that makes people bullish in terms of buying, right now Bitcoin's probably going to continue an accumulation phase. It's just going to continue moving sideways for a little bit. And we've obviously got news that will be coming out of America regarding the SEC, regarding the perspective on crypto. And over the course of that will probably be news that comes out January, February, unless they make a rapid decision, which they're not exactly known for. But it's feasible that we could see the Fed come out and go, yeah, we're bullish on crypto. We've been buying Bitcoin. And that in and of itself would be, rubber stamp on institutions starting to get in. But I don't think we'll see that. Not yet. I think we will see it, just probably January or February. So right now, if there's no massive influx of buying, we're probably going to be flittering between 40 and 50k. My perspective. If we are actually hitting a bear cycle, which, make no mistake about it, we can see a head and shoulders formation beginning. There's not a right shoulder yet, but if a right shoulder comes in, we are going to see, we could see another massive reduction. That's actually what we saw earlier in the year, to a lesser degree. It was far less symmetrical, but we saw it. Yeah. So if there's a head and shoulders formation, we could very well see a crash. But I think it's unlikely, because at the moment we're still looking at, the more you look at it, the more you have to acknowledge that an extended cycle is likely. Although that obviously all goes out the window if Bitcoin drops, to be fair, below 40, below 42 would be a big problem, but below 40, and has a daily close below 40, I think we'd see massive retracements. But we need not news story. It needs to be a story that's going to garner people's desire to hold more crypto. Now, for me personally, I hold crypto, and I'm going to continue holding crypto. I'll close positions throughout this cycle, like I have done. If we're starting to go bearish, I'll close. If we're starting to enter into a bear cycle, I'll close positions, and I'll reinvest when things are far more bearish, when prices have declined far more. But I don't think we're there yet. We'll see how today, to be fair, holds on the 200-day. But we are, even with all of this, we still keep seeing news stories of massive money entering the markets. So UAE's wealth fund, Mubadala Investing, who control assets in the realm of 250 billion, $250 billion. And the CEO said, many people are skeptics about crypto. I do not fall into this category. So he said he's looking at investments in the crypto ecosystem. I think it is real. This is a business that had $250 billion worth of value 2 years ago and is 2.5 trillion today and growing. So while many people are skeptics, I don't fall into this category. He said that the evolving regulatory environment will help crypto transition into something new. He added that they're $243 billion in assets, is one of the largest wealth funds in the UAE, and they are going to be investing in the ecosystem around crypto, be it blockchain, energy usage, without giving any further details. Although that energy usage is a very interesting one that is pointed out. So again, even with the sort of price declines that we are seeing, and that we have seen for the past sort of few weeks, we're seeing whales continue to buy, and we're seeing massive wealth funds entering the space. You know, we've seen that. We saw a retirement fund based out of Australia that ran, I think it was 100. I think they had 100 billion in assets, and they were saying they were going to put into crypto. So again, even if it's just 1%, it's still $1 billion, right? It's not necessarily going to move the market, but all these funds are getting into crypto because they have a long-term perspective on it. And it's one of those where at the moment we keep seeing a lot of people worried, and I get it, but it's one of those cases of you either zoom out, you've got to sort of zoom out, because if I zoom in right now and I'm looking at 30 minutes, then right now the charts don't look that good. Okay? It's just true. It is just true. So I could zoom in all the way to these 30-minute charts, and if I just look at the 30-minute charts, it looks bearish as bloody hell. Yeah, because it's just dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping. And it's one of those, if you're in this space because you're in it for the long haul, then zooming out is sort of the way you've got to go, because at least then you can see that the upward trajectory is there. You know, that's the daily. And while, yeah, we're in a bit of a decline from from the second week of November, you can see that the upward trajectory of the market is there. So it's how you're investing. And everyone has different perspectives. You know, some people are short term, some people are medium, some people are long. I'm a combination of short and long. So I've got a short-term focus on the current bull cycle. I've got a long-term focus on investments in the entire crypto space. It's just, yeah, just sort of want to share my thoughts. Also, a horrible piece of news. Poor bastard. Guy accidentally sold his Bored Ape for $3,000 instead of $300. It was an NFT. No, you know, everyone knows what Bored Ape is. I don't know why I'm saying NFT. And the owner said that he made a fat-fingered typing error when he listed the item for sale online. The NFT was snapped up by an automated account and put back up for sale at literally about $250,000 immediately. Guy ended up paying 8 Ethereum in transaction fees to get it through, so that he could get ownership of it, which, you know, I understand why, because if he can flip that for 60 ETH, which is what he's basically charging, it's $250,000. But what a horrible, horrible mistake to make. And good luck to the guy. I hope he can. I hope he can somehow recover some of his funds. That's brutal. Just shows how not concentrating on tiny mistakes can cost you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's just my perspective on crypto at the moment. But it's nice to see this. It's always nice to see the wealth funds starting, but right now, like I said, I think we're going to be extended consolidation and accumulation and consolidation, unless a massive piece of news sparks buying interest. Buying interest is what's going to move the market for Bitcoin. So you need to see a government or something, you know. And if that happens, then we'll see a run. But otherwise, I think we'll be just creeping down, creeping back up, creeping back down, creeping back up. But accumulation. But again, that's just my perspective. Hope you're all keeping well. If you're new to crypto, check out Copy My Crypto. Like I said, we've had some good wins. A couple of airdrops that paid off very, very nicely. That everyone was able to get in on. If you're also going to be in the market for the foreseeable future, then you may want to join, because I've been building the list for a couple of years of cryptos that I think will be beasts. So over the course of the next couple of years, I'm going to be watching out for developments, for who they onboard, for the team, if they onboard any specific members to their team, all these factors that affects the longevity of a project. And then when it's bear cycle, along with the market retracement, I can eye up great entry points for cryptos that I think can do 20, 40, 50, 100x's like Phantom did. And if you want to learn what they are, you can check out Copy My Crypto. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.